I think it shouldn't take a rocket scientist to understand that politics over these past number of years has done a great disservice to civilization. We now have several people who are stuck in their ideologies and levels of groupthink to the point where if they see or hear somebody who disagrees with them or has a different idea or a different outlook from them, it's just insults back and forth, to the point where the topic of discussion never gets addressed and we're just sitting there looking at a bunch of people yelling at each other, looking like complete fools, and then they all run to Twitter to say, I won because I had the most emphatic burn known to man. And I know what you're gonna say. Oh, it's that side that does it. No, it's that side that does it. Both of them do it. Neither side's special. They got a bunch of stupid people on both sides. Glad we could have that conversation. But if I think about it, there's one thing that both sides tend to usually agree on, is that you could keep it towards all the pointless babbling and insults. But once it gets to an extreme level, everyone kind of understands, yeah, even though whoever's doing the extreme thing said something I agree with, it's generally understood that, hey, even though you said that, I'm not gonna agree with your execution because your execution was terrible. Your execution does not help the conversation. Your execution makes everybody else seem like they're insane, or they co-sign it to the point where they gotta say, hey, I don't co-sign that at all because that ain't how I'm gonna fight that good fight. And with all that being said, I would like, if it pleases the Midnight Society, to read a couple of tweets to you all that have gone viral over the past number of hours. Now, stick with me because I was confused reading these, and I'm certain you're going to be confused reading these. They tried to take my baby, and I had to defend her. I had to do this. They are enemies of my faith. They kill babies in the womb in my state up to late term. I had to do this. I had to stick up for myself. I cannot let them take me, for they didn't protect the most innocent, and it was them or it was me. Christ is Lord, please forgive me. This is why I must fight for the ones who never got a chance. They tried to take my daughter. I had no other option. They tried to take my daughter from me. Sheriff wanted to feel her. They would not leave and sabotage me and still tried to take my daughter. And it's honestly such a shame. Any real man would never let the government take their daughter. What would you do if someone tried to take your daughter? What would you do? Would you let them take her, or would you fight with every ounce in you to keep her with her rightful father? What would you do if they did not try to take my newborn daughter? None of this would have happened. Remember me as someone who loves my country, loves the Bible, and loves my daughter. Remember me as a man who fought for the unborn babies with all my might. I'm sorry for the man who got shot, but don't try to take people's daughters from them. And my favorite tweet of the whole thing: years of transgenders harassing me and abortion being essentially a sacrament in my state, I have to stand my ground and fight for my religion. Christ is Lord. I am sorry. And I know what you might be thinking. Leon, what the fuck did you just read to me? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I just read to you. It looks like the ramblings of a madman who has a lot of disagreements with abortion and for some reason wanted to throw the transgenders in there. And I was sitting here confused, wondering if he was going to tweet anymore, and then he stopped tweeting. But I kept scrolling and I saw a video from the man, and here it is.
I'm here. My name is Stephen Regini. I am a resident of Maine, and I had the cops called on me. A SWAT team showed up, and I'm now engaged in a shootout. My state has been the #1 abortion and gay rights state in the entire country, and I've been segregated against for my beliefs. Now they're trying to arrest me simply because I do not believe in gay rights and abortion, which is the #1 state of Maine right now. That's what they do. They're an abortion mill. So I'm here. I'm in a shootout with the authorities who are protecting the rights of doctors to murder babies, and they are protecting the rights of children to be ripped out of the womb and killed. I'm here with my baby daughter, who they're also trying to take away, and I assure you that I am not the aggressor here. They tried to arrest me, they tried to tase me, they're trying to make me a criminal. They are trying to get me in trouble. They are trying to take me to jail for a long time for getting in an argument with my wife, which was a simple argument. I've spoke with her since. I love my wife. I love my daughter. I'm so grateful for all God has blessed me with. I'm grateful for my farm. I'm grateful for everything, all my friends and people who love me. And I'm sorry this had to happen. I really am, but I'm backed into a corner with my political beliefs. I haven't been able to find a job in a year, and my entire life has been just struggling for existence, fighting Democrats and trying to stand up for my country. Let me ask you, if you're a law enforcement officer, why do you support the COVID vaccines? Why do you support abortion? Why do you support what isn't morally right? How are you fighting for a state system that protects illegal immigrants and pedophiles? Please explain this to me. Please explain to me why abortion is still legal in my state. Why are the babies dying? Why? Why is this illegal up till the time of conception? That's why I'm fighting. I'm fighting for the babies, I'm fighting for the unborn, and I'm fighting for righteousness and Christianity to be restored in this country. Christ is Lord, God bless, and I'm sorry to you, my parents. I love you, my parents. I love you, my wife. I love you, my daughter. I love you, all my beloved friends and business partners, and God bless you. Sorry it had to end this way.
You're still confused. I understand. I'm still confused too. And I'm seeing this man talk about all these things, and it reminds me a little bit of that woman who went viral for talking about how she's going to jail for just praying, and she wasn't just praying. No, I don't give a fuck that she got pardoned out. She belongs in jail. And I noticed that if I just waited a little bit, I would probably find out about this man. And I did. He's dead because he's a fucking dumbass.
Man and one police canine are dead after a standoff in Portage yesterday. Monday morning, the Maine State Police responded to a report of a domestic dispute on Ranger Street in Portage, according to the Maine Department of Public Safety. The dispute was between a female and a 29-year-old Stephen Regini. When troopers arrived on the scene, the woman was out of the residence and Regini was inside with their 4-week-old infant. Troopers and deputies persuaded Regini to come outside and attempted to take him into custody, but he resisted. Police say Regini shot at officers, striking one in the shoulder as they attempted to back out of the driveway. Maine State Police negotiators attempted to negotiate with Regini for several hours, but he refused to surrender and eventually tried to flee the residence. Just before 8 p.m., Regini fired a shot at a state police canine unit named Preacher, wounding the dog. Regini then allegedly pointed his gun at the troopers who shot Regini. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The infant child was not injured and was returned to her mother. Preacher was transported to an emergency vet but succumbed to his injuries this morning. Deputy Shane Campbell, who was shot in the line of duty, was transported to Northern Light Hospital in Presque Isle and was released yesterday. 3 officers were put on administrative leave following the event. Dana Hayes with the Office of the Maine Attorney General says it could take up to 180 days until a decision is made on this investigation.
You mean to tell me that with abortion being a topic in your state and apparently you being harassed by transgenders, you get into a domestic dispute with your loving wife, and your loving wife calls the police. They call 5. They called 1 time on you, and it's because of a domestic dispute. Now, makes you look bad. I'll be honest with you. Your wife calling because of a domestic dispute. You don't look normal in that scenario, and it would be best if, you're having an issue and the cops come, you act civil. You don't get into a shootout with them, and instead of doing that, you get into a standoff with your daughter in the same house, and you firing bullets at people's shoulders, and you shooting canine dogs dead, and you want me to believe you care about the well-being of your child? What if they started shooting in response to you shooting and your daughter end up dead? Like, I get that you don't like abortion and you don't favor abortion and women should be carrying these babies, but what the fuck sense does it make if you birth a child and then you put them in a gun standoff? Like, what type of shit is that? You might as well just kill a motherfucker if you're gonna put them at risk like that. I just want to rationalize this for everybody. This man gets into a standoff with the cops, shoots one in the shoulder apparently, and after that just started tweeting as if, all right, I need somebody to know my final words. If this goes wrong, just know it wasn't my fault. I'm the victim here. I, for all this time, have had opinions, and it's led me to be segregated away from people. I can't get a job. Oh, but I love my farm. I love my friends, and I would never do this for no reason. You're a psychopath. You're somebody who I wouldn't want around the youth because you are disastrous to be around the youth. You're not a stable human being. You're not a considerate human being. You're a failure as a man, a husband, a brother, a son, and a father. You put your child at risk for what? Because somebody got mad at you and you got into an altercation with your wife and she called 1 time on you and you decided, fuck it, let's just blow them back because they can't tread on me. They're trying to get my daughter to safety. No. They're trying to take my daughter away from me because I'm speaking my mind about these things. things. Listen, life ain't the fucking Matrix. I get that y'all listen to people who scam y'all out of money into convincing you that everything's a simulation, but for the love of fuck, all it takes for you to live this life is very simple. Understand that your way of life isn't the only way of life on this earth. They got some wild shit out there that we all disagree and we all understand should not be a part of human society, but getting into a fucking standoff with the police about it is not going to carry the conversation in the way you want it. It's going to disastrously turn it all on your fucking head. And no amount of tweeting some phony ass sympathy, no amount of getting into standoffs and putting out Twitter videos saying, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It's gonna make people side with you. It's gonna make people say, yuck, look at this stupid motherfucker and how he operates and how he chooses to put children in harm's way. And he's talking about women and their right to choose what to do with their bodies. This is not a smart human being. And then they're gonna think more people are like that. And they're going to use that as their smoking gun to talk about how a lot of you motherfuckers want to control bodies. And what does that do? Destroy your fucking argument. Because if you're somebody who's willing to be in a disagreement about anything with your spouse, with your lover, with your wife, to the point where you lead to a standoff with the cops, you're not a smart human being. And no amount of sympathy you conjure up is gonna make me feel bad. I'm just gonna say good riddance, and I hope the daughter is reunited with the mother and they go off into the sunset and they grow together as two human beings who finally got the dead weight off their shoulders. Congratulations, dumb motherfucker. You ruined your life, you ruined your reputation, you've damaged your family, you've damaged your family's reputation, and when your daughter grows up and she wonders where daddy is, the whole family's gonna have to be fucking embarrassed because you are an embarrassment to all of them, and she's better off not knowing that you were her father. And to everyone else, I bid you all adieu. And what'd you think? Are you stupid enough to be in a standoff with the police? I know you're not, but you know, I gotta be a YouTuber and ask you the most obvious questions that I have the answers to already. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.